feel a sense of pride sometimes where I'm like, yeah, I just exist. Like I'm fully capable of existing always. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
No matter what, I'm gonna exist probably until
that's the New
heart
York's,
disease. But
I think
before
that's
that,
why. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't want to stop. That's actually really funny. You won't let poverty kill you. You're gonna wait till heart disease,
dude.
We're gonna wait till heart disease kills you, like it killed.
I'm gonna let emphysema and dementia do that. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna die on the streets because I couldn't, go drywall for $30 an hour. No way.
No way, dude. I'm gonna die at like 76 of blood cancer, just like my forefathers, dude.
The noble way. I'm gonna have my colon blowout when I'm 59 from eating beef for 45 years of my life, and and then people will be sad about it, even though it was like totally preventable. That's the natural. The natural way is all I'm saying. I should tell people who don't know, I moved, so the background is now different. We have we should do an update. We should tell people what's going on. I got a new place. We're gonna bail on this side-by-side Zoom bullshit here soon. Yeah. If you're still on, God bless you. You basically have you listening and watching this on YouTube is basically like giving to UNICEF. And we're gonna get past the Zoom thing. We're getting this. I got a little garage space underneath. We're gonna fix it up. We're gonna get back in the studio. We're gonna make shit happen again.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I'm just giving an update.
It's gonna be cool. I do wonder how many people were like, "What is going on with Zach's new?" Your place looks pretty similar though from this angle. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's still like a kitchen. It's still a kitchen. Like from this angle, it's like I'm still looking at a kitchen. Yeah,
it kind of actually says a lot that like I was like, oh, I moved, and then it's just white. It's just
still white,
and it's cheap. It's cheap granite, and the lowest end of like Whirlpool appliances that they legally can put in without you suing them. But it's a different location. It's a better location. It's more space. That's what you're talking about. That's the game.
You're telling everyone, hey, I moved up. You can't tell from behind me, but rest assured, I moved up.
Trust me.
You think this is smaller?
Yeah. You can't tell by the background, but hear me out now. Hear me out. Like, way bigger sink. You don't even know. You don't even know.
You got a little counter space in your bathroom? That's what's up.
I got a little counter space in the bathroom. I got a big mirror in the bathroom, which I don't know why. It's kind of terrifying. You ever see a mirror that's so clear? It's like the first time you watch like a high definition TV. Like it kind of like shocks you, and like you were surprised. Are you ever surprised by the quality of a mirror? Is what I'm saying.
For me, it's not the mirror, but it's the lighting.
Oh, you think so?
Sometimes there will be lighting where I'm like, oh my God, like my pores are huge and my acne scars are unmissable. I'm like, I'm looking at acne scars that I didn't even know.
On you.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Or the angle of it just like glows and my face looks like, geographical. Like it looks like, it looks like... Yeah, I'm like God damn, sculpture. Dude. Yeah. Or you see like the creases in my my eyes and stuff. I'm like never looking in that mirror ever again with the light on, man.
Dude, I don't know if it's the lighting for me, but sometimes I can just see a mirror, and it's like the fucking the glass is just made out of stars or something, because it shows you. It's like clearer than my actual vision sometimes. Like you look in a mirror and it's clearer than looking through my glasses. It's insane. And then you just like look and you're like, oh fuck, man, like I'm just taking up space. And then you go on and you're like, well, okay, well I gotta get a new mirror because that's way too clear.
I do that sometimes. I'll look at one of those mirrors, and for me it's like there are certain mirrors that I can look into. It's the lighting, though. It's not the mirror, because the mirror can only be so clear, but it's the lighting. And there are times my self-confidence can go from like a 10 to a 0, depending on the mirror I'm looking in. Because there are some where it's like a soft glow, and I'm like, I'm handsome, And then you look in like fluorescent, and then especially like shirtless, too. Like, we got to talk about that, dude. So I'm like, outside glow, that's nice. But like dead on, you're like,
yeah,
I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah, it's not good. It's like you ever be in like a speedway or like a gas station or a truck stop bathroom, and it's just like kind of one. It's like one individual bluish weird LED light in the corner, and then just dark gray around you. And then you look at yourself and you're like, gee, I knew I was low for coming in here in the first place, but Jesus Christ, I didn't know it was that bad.
It's a reminder that if you're in a speedway bathroom, you need to remember you're in a speedway bathroom. You don't want to be halfway through taking a shit and forget that you're trash.
Let's not forget where I'm at. There is used condom over there. There's an empty Slurpee cup that has cigarette butts in it over there. There's a hollowed out Black and Mild. All the tobacco is scattered around the sink because someone emptied it.
You're missing one. You're missing one thing.
Is it the diaper changing station that's covered with graffiti and diarrhea stains?
Okay, you're missing two things.
What's the other thing?
The horny goat weed dispenser, dude.
Oh, dude, I was gonna say that, dude. I straight up was remembering the horny goat weed, and I was like, I'm not gonna drop that reference because if there was a chance that no one else knows what that is, and I was worried that I didn't think it was as common as it was. So I'm glad to hear you say that. I don't know what that shit is, by the way. I don't know how they were allowed to sell it at a gas station.
Horny goat weed. No. Oh, yeah, dude.
You're like, dude, it's actually pretty good. Let me tell you, dude, it's a natural. You sound like someone who's trying to hawk CBD now. You're like, dude, it's actually really good. Like, it grows in the ground. It makes me not gay anymore. Like,
no, it makes me like double gay, dude.
Really? You double down on it?
I've never taken it, but the thing about it is, it's basically I looked it up one time because I thought it was a brand. You know, I'm like, oh, it's a brand of like some placebo effect. You know, aphrodisiac.
I have no idea what it is, so I'm excited
it's a legitimate horny goat weed is a plant, dude. It's not a brand. It's just an actual thing.
Yeah,
there's an actual plant called horny goat weed. It's I'm
on it, dude. It's on WebMD. Horny goat weed.
That's what I'm saying.
Contains chemicals which might increase blood flow and help sexual. And it fed me an ad. You know what? Fucking MW. They fed me an ad. Yeah, it's real.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's a thing.
It's
I'm sure it does not work. I'm positive it doesn't work, but I was surprised that there was a botanist that was like naming plants and was like, just like they came up with options and was like, horny goat weed. I mean, it's a funny name. It's hysterical, but like it was the logical conclusion to name the plant was horny goat weed.
They're like, we don't know many things about this world, but we know that a goat ate this shit and then it fucked my son to death. So we're calling it the horny goat weed. And
it fucked my wife so good that I'll never be able to pleasure her. So
yeah,
horny goat weed
300 years. And you're getting this with a Vault soda at a fucking Ameristop on your way to a funeral. And you're like, oh, this is weird.
And a cheese Danish and a Jack Link styled beef stick.
A Jack Link's teriyaki beef stick.
Oh, dude, you don't teriyaki boys don't buy here. Well, I'm saying I don't, but like teriyaki boys.
I think they do, bro. I think by what I'm reading here on the history of it, I think the teriyaki bros are getting horny goat weed, bro.
You think so?
Yeah, because it came from China, dude. And listen, teriyaki beef jerky is definitely Chinese, but like it's called epimedium. Epimedium is the real name of the plant, also known as barrenwort, bishop's hat, fairy wings, horny goat weed, or yin yang huo. So I don't know if you can just fucking call anything whatever you want, I guess. Like there's 7 names for it that are all different.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm sticking with horny goat weed though. Yeah.
Dude, I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you, just speaking of boldness, I was on my way, I had to run to Home Depot and get something, which I was nervous about, with the virus and the masks. I gotta imagine the people going to Home Depot don't give a fuck. So I was already tense, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to go here. I gotta go here. I gotta go get plates to put a leg on a cabinet or something like that. And I'm driving, and I just see this dude has this like decked out. I don't know if it's a Jeep Grand Cherokee or whatever, but the dude has a complete custom Jeep wrap in graphics on the back, and it's this cool black dude with long dreads, and then the back, he, like the little tire graphic. You know how you can make the tire cover like a graphic?
Oh, sure.
On a Jeep. He has it, and it just said, it's him as a superhero, and it just said, Electric Negro, hashtag new superhero. And then I looked at the dude driving, and I was like, oh, that's him. And then I realized, I was like, oh, this dude just, decided that he's a he just decided to be a superhero.
Yeah,
and I was so happy when I saw that. I was like, this dude, you can be anything. You can be anything you want. You just got to have $600 to get a wrap on your car, and you can be anything. Dude, if you get a wrap on your car of something, you are it. You don't need any other qualification.
Well, yeah, and totally. I think it's the idea of freedom, I think, to kind of expand on this idea of, what was it, the Electric Negro?
Yeah, Electric Negro.
It's the idea, and I've thought about this. I had a moment where I was going out to I drive a Honda Civic, and I was looking at my Civic, and I was like, I bet it would be $600 to just make a tiger striped Civic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought about that, and I'm like, I'm not reselling this thing. I'm gonna drive it into the ground.
No,
so I'm like,
dude.
It would be maybe $700 for and I was like, why? And I thought about it. And I'm like, why have I not fucking done that?
Dude, if
I came out to a tiger stripe car every day, I'd be so much happier. I'm an adult. I could do that. I don't care what people think.
Your quality of life would increase dramatically. You would smile every time you look at your car.
Oh,
every single time you look at your car, you would smile. I've looked into this. It's $300 if you just want shitty chrome. I just want my whole car chrome. Shitty chrome spray. Just straight. I think it's like $300 back in the Midwest. Maybe probably not here. But dude, you could fuck your car up for less than $500 for sure. We should look into this. I want a chrome HHR so fucking bad. It's so obnoxious that even in driving in traffic, it just causes problems. Someone's coming through an intersection and I get T-boned because it doesn't even look like anything. It would be more trouble than it was worth, but it would be the funnest. That's like living in Grand Theft Auto, dude. Just I'm going to the paint shop, I want a gold pearlescent paint job on my '97 Altima.
Think about it, dude. You played Grand Theft Auto when you were a kid because it gave you a sense of control. You're like, I can be an adult in this game. I can do what the fuck I want. And then you become an adult and you're like, well, I can't be doing that. I'm like, why not? You're an adult now. This is Grand Theft. You're living in Grand Theft Auto. Fuck a prostitute.
Yeah.
And murder her.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Listen, outfit your car with an insane car horn and go do illegal street races with it. You don't need to do... You can just go do that, man. You don't need any kind of qualification for that.
This is your world.
I remember playing Grand Theft Auto when I was in 5th grade. And it was I remember playing it and it felt like I was illegally watching porn or something. That's how dangerous the game felt.
It was dirty.
Now it's
for sure.
Now the only thing they can do to raise the bar is just integrate Google Maps at this point and just basically make it. You can just go whatever town you're in. Just use that. Just drive around.
Well, now I think
people can't handle that. That would be too much. That would break the fabric of our culture apart. Is if people could. That's the last veneer that the video game world will not cross. They will not allow people to just start living alternate versions of their own reality.
Because the distinction would become too blurred. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You'd be like, oh wait, yeah, right.
You would lose. You'd be like, this is a way better reality. And then it would be a legitimate.
It would be a legitimate argument for a lawyer to be like, I'm sorry, Judge, my client believed he was in the virtual world when he fucked that prostitute and then
that
cut her head
lawsuit
off.
is coming. That lawsuit
I'm
is
sure.
coming. It is only a matter of time before someone is like, that line is set in court. Your Honor, my client truly believed that he was in the computer at that moment. You know, he's still an upstanding member. We could call a character witness. We were talking about character witnesses earlier. You know? Get someone in there to be like, listen, he does not actually want to kill everyone at work. Yeah. You could never prove that, though. You could never prove that.
Well, even if you did, he would still be... You could plead insanity. And a lot of times I feel like people don't want to plead insanity because, like, going to a psych ward is, like, significantly worse than being in prison.
You think so? I don't know.
From what I've heard, people are like, you can plead insanity, but like it's a far worse fate. And I think also it's hard to stay out of it's even harder to stay out of the system once you've pled insanity.
What do you think is like the dumbest reason anyone's ever pled insanity for? Like, what do you think is like the lowest charge that you can plead insanity for?
Maybe like shoplifting. Could you plead insanity? So? I'd try it. If it was... I mean,
I'll try anything. Depends on the lawyer. Depends on how ballsy your lawyer is. If he's got nothing to lose and he's got he's not going to face that judge in the future. He's like, yeah, he's insane. I don't know why he tried to steal, you know.
I think it's a real... The thing is, I don't think you should plead insane for some like petty theft or some bullshit, because I think once you've pled insane and that's been your, like, you're saying, I'm pleading this, I'm saying I'm insane, I don't think it works out well for you in the future. Do you know what I mean?
You don't think so?
I feel like
you don't think
it's better to be an ex-con. It's better to be like a convicted murderer than someone that's pled insane. Because the devil, you know, is the guy. It's like, oh, he killed some dude that was fucking his wife. You're like, okay, I get it. But when someone's like, oh, he's insane, he murdered someone because he has no control over his emotions and his like thought processes, you'd be like, yeah, this guy took out I don't want him anywhere near me.
This guy took out an entire office because he saw 3 red cars in a row, you know? So this is by far my favorite news story of the year. Easily number 1. Okay. These, what I think they're being called Ken and Karen now, is these 2 old-ass white boomers who were pulled out guns on the porch of their St. Louis home during some protests. Which, by the way, side note, did you know that the reason these protests were happening is because the mayor of St. Louis doxed people who were complaining against, I think it was her, I don't know. She doxed people who were complaining about her and saying defund the police, and she went on the news and read their names and addresses on the news. And that's why these protests started.
Okay, completely. I mean, it's all completely legitimate, but definitely even more legitimate than...
Anyway.
Yeah. A reason to be frustrated.
This march is going on, and I guess they cut through this private street, and they come across this fucking bank. I mean, what is their house? Did you see that? $1.5 million for that house. Dude, we've talked about this. I'm so ready to be red state rich. Like, I want to be red state rich, dude. Right. They're $1.5 million for that property is insane. And I don't know why you would want your house to look like the Federal Reserve. But they did. And
it's a White House replica. It's too big. You don't need a house that big.
It is too big.
It's also not a nice looking house, you know?
Yeah, you don't need that big of a house for your fucking bullet blender. Like, shut up, dude. And they go out on their porch, and they got, dude's got an AR-15. Chick's got this horrendously tiny gun. And honestly, man, if we're being honest, the first time I watched that video, the first thing that I thought was, wow, I really hate that the dude is out there without shoes on. Or socks. He went out there barefoot with his AR-15. Can you imagine thinking that there's a race war happening outside of your house, and you're like, I'm not gonna put on my Crocs for this, dude. I'm relaxing.
Yeah, but I would say if you have an AR-15, you might not need shoes, man. If you have a semi-automatic weapon,
it's not.
Why?
None of this would be happening if the dude had been wearing shoes. If he had been wearing shoes, this would never even made it on the news. He goes out there barefoot in a tucked-in pink polo and khaki pants. That dude looks like he's the CEO of Pizza Hut. Like, I don't know what he does. I don't know. He looked like he's on Undercover Boss.
He looks like
that,
yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go. What do you think of this? I think he owns a moderately successful group of 8 different McDonald's franchises that he inherited.
That's exactly.
Yeah, he inherited like old money from grandpa. Is what I would.
That dude had. He looked like he had restaurant money. Not even restaurant money. He looked like he had fast food money.
Yeah,
that dude started a chain. Like, he owns like Moe's Burritos or whatever.
Yeah.
Or some weird obscure company, and you're like, wait, why did, like, Crystal, you know, like the burger place, and he has this mansion. You're like, why the fuck does he afford this? He's like, oh, that's the guy who owns Crystal. And you're
right.
Like, do they still even have those? And he's like, well, look at his house, dude. Jesus Christ, he got 7, tanks in his garage.
Well,
what do you make of this?
I think the most viral part of it, I think, was the woman, her hideous tank top, and the way she held the gun. The way she held the gun was like this. I've never shot a gun, but I'm sure that thing's gonna kick. Like, it's a tiny gun, but I'm sure that thing is going to kick. But she's holding it like a squirt gun. She just kind of limp-wristed, like, hey, don't.
At each other.
Were they really?
They were aiming at each other by, like, they didn't know what they were doing. I saw that and I was like, okay, these people have never picked up these guns, which then made me just realize, like, oh, they're just rich. They're red state rich.
They looked confident, though. Didn't they look confident? I'm like, yo, these people, they
really did.
They exuded a lot of, like, I think had they stepped on the property, dude, it would have been bad. I think they would have stood their ground. They would have opened fire. Yeah.
For sure. They would have done it. And then
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
This is what makes like a Karen, and like what brought them to that point in their life where they became this radical attention-seeking bitch? And also, what are like defining traits of, because I feel like they come in all shapes and sizes, so like what are defining traits of a quintessential Karen?
I think the number one trait is it's a person whose voice has always been heard. Like, there's never a scenario where their voice was never not heard.
I'm on that too.
Actually, I think, though, the more I think about it, and there's no shortage of like videos about these now. It's even like hacked it, But like, I think what the real issue is, because let's be honest, 99% of these videos, it's a white woman. Like, it's an older white woman 100% of the time. Sometimes you'll see it and there's like male Karen. I'm like, that's not the same thing.
Doesn't count.
Like, it doesn't count. You can't just make one broad stroke term for an asshole. Like, no, a Karen is a specific type of asshole. And I think 9 out of 10 times what it is it's a lady that's got so much power inside of her house that she thinks it carries elsewhere. And it's like, in 9 out of 10 times, it's her talking down to someone who's younger, working at like what? Retail. It's a fucking dude working at Best Buy, or it's a lady who's shortener on Chick-fil-A. So I don't know. You pick your fucking scenario. But I think it's always, I always get the vibe that it's a lady trying to parent someone else's kids. And like, she goes into a place like, oh, I need to tell these kids what's up. I'm gonna go in here and crack some fucking skulls, I don't know. That's always how it came off to me.
Okay. Mine's kind of on that tip. Because what I think it is, I think every Karen was the like hot girl in high school, okay? Who like derived all of her self-worth from the fact that people wanted to have sex with her, okay? And she got married to a dude who they weren't compatible, but they were both hot at the time, right? So they were both like sexy, desirable people at the time. They got married. This is a sad reality. I'm going to warn you. It's a sad reality. But it's like, they got married. They grew apart. They don't love each other. She got used to everyone wanting to, I'm saying have sex because I want to stay in the YouTube algorithm. She got used to everyone fawning after her and wanting to hook up with her. And then she got old and the thing that people valued her for went away. All right.
Yeah.
is gone. So now it's like people won't pay attention to me in the grocery store now because I'm not hot. I got to figure out a new way to draw attention to myself, and that's to be a big fat C word, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to say you're right, but then I'm also like, I don't. Every time I look at like a video of like some kind of like quote unquote carrot, it's not. That chick didn't used to be hot. Sometimes it's like a lady who's just some like toe-headed chick with a Pete Rose haircut in Minnesota. You know what I mean? Like it's not. I don't know if that's it necessarily.
Not necessarily. But it's.
Sometimes,
what do you think?
You
all
know?
right. If we pull it back, what's like what brings someone into a grocery store? Because it's never about the thing they're mad about. It's never about the mask, right?
No.
In reality,
no.
It's not like they're making such a fuss about something because they really didn't want to wear a mask. It's because of what?
It's because they feel powerless. I mean, that's what any that's what any kind of conflict is people feel like their power was stepped on and they lost it, you know?
Right.
And I think it's more so it's like an assumption of power. It's the assumption that like just because she raises a stink, she's gonna watch change unfold.
Yeah.
Like in front of her. She like
right.
what I wonder what they think is gonna happen. Like the manager of that rallies is actually gonna be called and then come over and refund you $7 because you got soggy onion rings. Like get real. I guess I don't know what their expectations are most of the time. But I think it's an assumption of power type thing. That's why them and cops go hand in hand. They're usually working together on these fronts. You know, they're like a tandem. They're like they're just narcs for cops most of the time. Yeah. And then sometimes when you see a cop, you know, take one down, it's like, you know, entertainment you can buy. So that's I don't know.
Yeah. It's the fight to regain control of something they once had.
That's what it is. And in this particular case, guess what? She just happened to make a 16-year-old who works at Auntie Anne's cry.
So so the basketball is supposed to come back July 31st. According to plan, a lot of NBA players have dropped out due to like children being born, due to custody battles, due to being like having health risks, being to just not want to do it. And also, basketball players are getting coronavirus, okay? So it feels...
well, I was going to interject. Like, just a couple hours ago, it looks like DeAndre Jordan on the Nets got it. And then also...
Spencer Dinwiddie got it on the Nets.
I was going to say Spencer Dinwiddie, which, by the way, Dinwiddie is the fucking greatest last name I've seen.
Oh, yeah, dude. He's good, too. He made his own shoe. Did
he really? But what was it like?
But, okay... I don't know. I think it was like a signature shoe only he wore.
But
so if
listen
that
to
tells
this.
you anything. But
listen to this though. Spencer Dinwiddie announced this week he has also tested positive, but says he has not decided if he will attempt to rejoin his squad in Florida. The dude's like, I don't know if I take it seriously or not. Fuck it, you know. The other guy's like, I got to stay out. He's like, I don't know. We'll see. What do I can be top dog? You know, I got to show
up. You laugh at him. What part of that are you laughing at? The fact that he's considering it, and you think it's kind of a dick move?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a dick move, especially when there's like growing evidence that you can get it twice. Like to test positive and then 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away, whatever it be. Like, oh, I'm gonna.
It's a month. It's a month. It's an entire month away. So
dude, this is the we got to keep that in mind, dude. Who's going to be the first entire team that's taken out of this thing? Like a team that has to pull itself
what do you
think
think's going to happen? What do you think's actually going to happen? Because I have a prediction.
I think players are going to get it and spread to a team, and then a team's going to be... I feel like there's going to be a scenario where a team like, the Blazers or somebody is like... They're like, we have to play only backups because our star players are out, or, their rosters are limited because they can't get anyone out there. I think it could get to a team and then they're fucked. And then it's like, oh no, you didn't win the made up magical tournament. Like, seems higher risk than the reward. It's an asterisk season. It's an asterisk. So like,
I didn't want to say that. I didn't
It
want to say
is.
that. For the longest time, I was like, it's not an asterisk season. Or it's going to be like if
what
they're
even happened in the other season?
I'm on your side. I'm on your side because I was saying that. I'm like, it's an asterisk season. It's not. I was like, it's not like it's. They're gonna bring it back. If they have to bring in some capacity, we have to respect the champion. But now I'm at the point with everything happening where I'm like, and people getting the virus, and also like Von Miller got the virus a while back, and he still feels symptoms. Rudy Gobert still feels symptoms. So I'm just in my head. I feel like I listen to basketball podcasts all the time. So this is hot news because I feel like if you listen to basketball podcasts and you clicked on this link because you fuck with basketball, I'm telling you what I'm thinking is I feel like everyone is just like blinders, elephant in the room. The fact that like we're not playing basketball this year. We're just like you're right. I think one team's going to get it and then it's going to be like, all right, we valiant effort, but this didn't work. Yeah. See you all in like 2025, you know?
For sure. This is the parents pretending that they like each other in front of their kids, even though they're secretly talking about getting a divorce. You know? Like, it's just putting on a brave face for the kids. They're like, the NBA is like, listen, the world needs us right now. Morale's at an all-time low. We got caught funneling information, selling data to China.
Yeah.
We got to do something. We got to get back out there. And then they're forcing this. And then, next thing you know, you're going to have some fucking stupid scenario where Kevin Durant, gets coronavirus or like, J.R. Smith gets it. You know what's going to be funny is when
KD already had it, dude.
Oh, you're right. KD did already have it. It's going to be funny when a guy like J.R. Smith gets it. Like J.R. Smith signs the Lakers and then gets it. And then everyone's going to be like pissed at him for ruining the team's chances. Like how small of a player can you be to get it and then like tank your team's chances and then just be hated for the rest of your life?
This segues into something I was thinking about today. LeBron is the friend with a job who has a bunch of degenerate friends who are always asking him for a job. And always like ruin his reputation. So I'm like, LeBron's the guy, the responsible guy who has a job, and he's got all these like hood rat friends that are like, yo, give me a job, dude. I'll swear I'll be good. And then he's like, all right, man, I'll get you a job. I'll get you a massive contract. I'll get you paid. I'll get you in here, but you gotta be good. And then like JR, for example, just comes in and blows it, dude. And he was like, dude, I gave you this job. I was vouching for you, and you screwed us over, dude.
What was that game where J.R. Smith, like, it was in overtime, basically.
It was game one of the finals in 2018, I think. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, just completely botched it and forced it into overtime when they could have just probably won the game.
Yeah, he rebounded it and dribbled it away.
I don't know how that dude gets off so much, because he definitely talk about people who need to be dealt a blow. Dude, he was driving around a fucking Batmobile in New York City and like hit someone. Guy like had a DUI or something like that. Hit somebody.
Oh, did he really?
Yes, dude.
Wait, are you sure? We can't be like talking ill of JR if that didn't happen, dude. You can't call him a vehicular manslaughter.
I didn't
if you
say
don't know.
No one said vehicular manslaughter. I said he hit somebody with his Batmobile, which anyone knows me. They know that I only tell the truth. I'm on the Wikipedia page. You always got to scroll down to the personal controversy section.
Yeah, that's the good part.
Okay, him and Melo were in a car crash in 2007.
Okay.
Boom. June 9th, 2007, Smith, 2 passengers were injured in a car crash in New Jersey when the SUV he was driving collided with another car. He pleaded guilty to that. Boom. I officially avoided a libel suit, so you can suck my dick, Joe.
Okay, he hit a car. That. Okay. All right, I feel good.
No, there was more about this. There was more, dude.
Okay.
The Batmobile thing is, by the way, provable. Google that shit. Google J.R. Smith. He's got this stupid car that could, invade Beirut.
I love JR. I don't want to sound like I'm disparaging J.R. Smith. I'm a J.R. Smith fan, so go on. Listen, you're on your own here. Go ahead.
I do like J.R. Smith. I think him taking his shirt off, that whole 2016 post-championship run, I thought it was a lot of fun. But he also, I think, almost killed somebody. So, I make of that what you will, It's not my fault to tell you who your idols are.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a feeling it's not it's not going to happen. It's going to be J.R. Smith's fault.
Who do you think
That's
wins?
my final
Who do you
take.
think wins the bullshit asterisk coronavirus NBA?
I don't think it's gonna end. I don't think we're I don't think anyone's gonna win SummerSlam, dude. What's
you don't
your
think
thought?
So? What do you think?
I
you
think it's gonna
just
end.
start and then get canceled midway.
I do. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think they're really gonna try. Yeah, that's where you're at.
They would.
And trust me, I'm a person
it.
that wants to watch basketball. I want to watch basketball.
Me too. I would love nothing more than if they had some kind of like March Madness, that's basically what this is. It's just March Madness. That's all they're trying to do. So they're basically like, we'll come back, one off, we'll try and make it happen. But I don't know. And even if watch someone like the Sacramento Kings win, and people are gonna be like, what the fuck, dude? What did we even do this for? You know, I don't even know if they're in contention. But the idea of them,
They are. They could do it.
You think they could? Who's the biggest underdog?
Either the Suns or the Wizards. The Suns and the Wizards.
Wizards come in.
Yeah.
Do they still have Bradley Beal? He comes in. He drops 50 in a game. And people are like,
Which he is doing lately. Is he
really? Is he picking it up?
Yeah, Bradley Beal is... Yeah, he was a snub for an all-star seat. But yeah, he was crushing it, dude. He was really doing well. And he was on a revenge tour. So it's possible.
Yeah.
I think John Wall's feeling healthy too. So we'll see.
You know, worst case scenario, Pop from the Spurs gets coronavirus and goes down, and then, you know, you get somebody, a backup player, to start coaching the team for him. Everyone's like, why was this even happening? Like, why do we do this? You know? And then you have, what's his name, coach? Who's the guy who stepped in for Pop when he went down?
Oh, Tim Duncan.
Yeah, Tim Duncan comes in and coaches them, player coach, rest of it.
Yeah. No, Tim Duncan, yeah, he's an assistant coach. I'm afraid of everything. People are legitimately afraid of Pop dying, so
well, let's hope not.
Of course. I'm actually
You said he would get it.
No, I know, but I'm just telling you, people are like legitimately afraid of National Treasure dying, you know? So I want to say, as a basketball fan, as a guy that all I really have wanted for the past 4 months is to leave my life and check out and watch basketball games, I kind of hope it doesn't return. And I hate saying that. All right, you don't have to have an opinion, but I have 3 people where I'm not saying they should be. There's some that I'm going to say some that I think should be canceled. And then there are going to be ones where there's one that I'm like, how are they not canceled? Okay. And I don't necessarily.
So that's what you're asking, who should be canceled?
Yes. Because I have I don't know if you have any examples, because I have 3 examples. One of them is I don't know how they aren't, but then one of them is then the other 2 are, why have they not been yet? Because they did some bad things. Okay.
This is fun. This is like hunting.
Yeah.
Usually
I'm teasing you, dude. I'm teasing you.
I think finding a reason for someone to be canceled is like blood sport. I'm glad to engage in it.
These are egregious crimes against some humanity, you know.
Well, who do you got?
Let's start with we've talked about this. George Washington, the layup. The easiest one.
Dude, okay, dude.
What?
At a certain
Don't
point,
you apologist for George Washington?
I'm not going to be an apologist for George Washington. No, you know, I don't know what he was doing with those fake ass teeth, but what I do know is that he's been dead for like 1,000 years. So that I don't even think that even counts. Cancelable, like someone who hasn't been canceled, I feel like they have to be existed in this culture.
No, because think about everything with George Washington's name and face on it, and we like memorialize him. And I think his crime, he owned another person and treated them like property. I think we got to change Washington D.C. to a different name, dude. Something like Harriet Tubman, something apologetic to say, hey, sorry, we celebrated a slave owner.
You think you should actually change the name of an entire city? Are you joking? That's cool.
I do. I think they should change, like George Washington University. I think they should absolutely.
Dude, I think those are symbolic, hollow gestures that are perfect reasons for people who can actually make change to do that, and then everyone's appeased, and then they can just go on doing the most profitable thing, which is exploiting people.
Yes.
So
yes.
I think anyone. If someone's like, I want to change the name of Washington State, what are you going to change Washington State? Like, listen, dude, tear the statues down, Fucking change. If you got a school, if you got a fucking school with a stupid mascot, change that. Nobody gives a fuck about the Flying Titans or whatever your shit is. Like, but if you're talking about changing the zip code, get real. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
George Washington wasn't a good dude.
You're right.
What are we gonna do now? All the people who live there got to change their mailing address to live in, X.
Fair point. But when I go down to Jefferson, Boulevard, to me, it feels weird when it's primarily POCs that live there, and then it's, named after Thomas Jefferson. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird.
All right.
It's a weird dynamic.
We'll move on.
Certainly.
You made a very good point, though. It is an empty, hollow gesture, but I think even the gesture would be nice.
I think
but we need real change. But I think the gesture is important. I mean, okay, no. Here's my main problem with George Washington. My main problem with George Washington is he knew owning slaves was wrong. Okay. And then he continued to do it. And then he attempted to rectify himself by 2 years after he died, emancipating them. Guy. He who knows the wrong he is doing is guilty of sin, dude.
My dude, he was running the nation. He had a lot of blood on his hands. My dude was floating on a little canoe over here from God knows where.
Right.
We see all these history books of these weird ass old paintings of him sailing on a river, and there's just the water's blood red. Listen, there's gonna be no end to what he did. And, we can't memorialize that dude, but I think you got to draw the line somewhere at renaming an entire city, I think is the line. Okay. I think that is the line. It's an entire city. Change the street name, tear down a statue.
Right. Fair enough. You're all right, so that makes sense. So
They made a Netflix documentary about me, dude.
I watched some of that. I couldn't finish it because it was so disturbing.
I didn't watch it.
Okay.
I didn't want to see all my friends.
Yeah, I don't want to see people I went to high school with. Or their equivalent Literally. In the adjacent state. Okay, my next one, Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton somehow gets a free pass for...
Dude, he didn't get a free pass, though.
Dude.
He didn't. I mean, he did and he didn't. You know what I mean? He stayed president. He was not...
Dude, if that...
Well, first of all, he's... Okay.
What? Dude, it's an intern.
Child trafficking. Let's forget Monica Lewinsky. That was such a beautiful time when we thought that was his biggest problem. Right. He was apparently a child trafficker. So that's really the cancelable crime there, but he's going to be on The View at the end of the week talking about a blood pressure fundraiser or some shit. Why does he fly above the radar? That's what I'm asking. You're really trying to get the root of is what makes someone able to fly above the radar. Why? That's the question you're asking.
Well, why are we on Chris D'Elia when we know Bill Clinton, the most powerful man in the world at that time, got his dick sucked by I just blew the algorithm.
People don't care about power. They care about likability. You only cancel someone who's likable.
So you think because he wasn't nobody, but people fucked with Bill. I feel like people still fuck with Bill.
Here's the difference, dude. If people try to people don't fuck with Bill. People don't fuck with Bill. Not since 1999, dude. Not really. Yeah. Everything changed after that. But what I'm saying is, if your whole public persona is based on trying to get people to like you, your fall is going to be way harder. Or if you're just Bill Clinton and you're just an asshole who's just running the country doing God knows what,
right?
Bodies all over God's green earth. I mean, you can't. If someone tried to tell Bill Clinton to his face, they're like, imagine a scenario where he's in a limo driving to God knows what, some public speaking event, and his intern, who's a 23-year-old dude with an iPad, is just like, hey, so it looks like you're being canceled. And he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, well, people seem to have a problem with you. There's a lot of photos of you with Epstein and Prince Andrew. Yeah. Also, it looks like you kind of extorted Monica Lewinsky, and she didn't really get a fair. And he's like, what the? I don't give Where are we going to IHOP? That would be his frame
it
of
would
thought.
be, am I under arrest? Well, no. Well, then let's go to IHOP.
Well, then we're going to get cinnamon pancakes. Stop being a bitch. Shut up, dude. Why are we bringing this up right now? You harshing my vibe?
All right, so...
You can't be canceled if you don't give a shit.
That's true.
And he doesn't. He also can't be taken down a peg. He was the president of the United States.
Right.
He's in... It don't happen.
Okay, so fair enough. My last one is, I don't know how much you know about him, Tyler, the Creator, okay? I think...
Well, yeah.
And I think he gets a pass because, this is the one I like. I like Tyler, and I think he does good things for the world. His music too, because I like Tyler because his lyrics, you know how everyone kind of like dances the line of like, I'm gonna be kind of say things that are offensive, but I'm not gonna go over the line. He goes over the other line and like dives in, dude. So the song I'm talking about, it's a song called Dracula. If you listen to that song, it is. It goes.
Well, Yonkers too.
No, dude, listen to Dracula, man. Dracula is the lyrics to that song. I was listening to it the other day because I had it on a playlist, and it was when I listened to it back in like 2015. I was like, oh, this is like an interesting art experiment of like lyricism, and I'm like, this is cool. He's really pushing it to the edge. Now I listen to it in 2020, and I'm like, I don't know how this guy's not canceled, dude, because it's so messed up and so aggressive to the point where you know it's satire, but to a kid who most of his fan base might not. I would compare him to Grand Theft Auto of our childhood.
Yeah.
I would say Tyler, Creator, is the Grand Theft Auto of the Gen Zs.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Well, I said Yonkers just because when that song came out, that was kind of like what... That was right when Odd Future kind of started to take off, and that album, was it called Goblin?
Yeah, Goblin.
That was kind of the selling point of that album, was how fucked up it was and what the lyrics were like. But like, you can't... I don't know. I don't...
I'm not saying they should be. I'm just like curious, like, are we going to see that? Are we not? I don't know.
It's because people are willing to make exceptions for things they like, dude. So, like, as long as that continues to happen, a lot of people like him. They're not gonna bring him down. Like, you can almost make the argument at a certain point that like this is not even a real thing. Like the fact that people even have conversations about this is crazy. Like someone's career, let's say you get busted trying to hit on underage girls, you didn't get canceled. People stop buying your tickets.
Right.
Like, that's what happened. You know what I mean? So it's like people like to put a word on it to make themselves feel better. Like, oh, we did a thing. Like, canceled. Like, no, dude. Like, he did shitty things. The public found out. And then now no one's buying his tickets. But it's not one person didn't like,
Yeah, but you branded the punishment is what it is. It's now.
That's what it is. You're right. Yeah. It's branded punishment.
Which is fun, which we like, right? Because it's all... I think we all see other people's downfalls as an opportunity to propel ourselves.
Oh, for sure, dude. Anyone take the chance
Not
to like
good.
hop on... Dude, and here's the funny thing. You're like, why isn't Tyler, the Creator, been canceled? But if there were 5 tweets that came out, or like 5, Instagram stories, it would come down like a ton of bricks. Like everyone would immediately, as soon as someone got like the indication that it was time, it's like fighting in medieval times.
Yeah.
As soon as someone sounded the alarm and they were like, hey, we're doing this, everyone's just like, all right, suit up, let's do it. We'll take them.
I do think here's my last thing on cancellations. I think the media is the one, because even when we talked about Crystalia, I noticed Google searches. I think the thing people like the most in the news, what's going to cause is someone being canceled, like negative scandals about people. So I think the news has them. They already have them ready to go, and they're like, all right, it's time to pull the trigger on the Dalia story, and then it's because it sells. That's it. That's the...
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like 2 people with the keys to like turn and fire off a nuke. Like they always have the keys, and they're just like, it's really a matter of when is this most opportune? Like when can this... Because it's always when like someone has something going on, which is, by the way, not an excuse. If you're doing shady shit like Dalia, you got to get called out ASAP. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's always part of like the coordination is like timing it with a special, or let's say an album comes out.
Yeah.
But dude, you know what, man? Who's the number one person who hasn't been canceled that should be? Real talk, you know who? You know, if I wanted to be a dick and like do this, which I don't, I have no interest in the blood sport of like hunting down personalities.
Yeah.
For this, but like I gotta think one is Ryan Reynolds, and it's because of you watch like Waiting. Watch a movie like Waiting, and people saying the F word a lot and not fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's flying a lot.
I don't think
dude was flying it a lot.
Well,
and now all of a sudden he's just like an Instagram person, and he just gets to be on like Ellen and like have some bullshit podcast during the quarantine. You know, like that. Is that what it is? What's his fate?
It is bizarre. That is, I don't know if that's gonna, because I told you I was watching The Invention of Lying, and Tina Fey says that word twice in 10 seconds. And that was the moment for me. I'm like, things have changed. Things are different in 2020.
She's not going to be taken down. No one's going to take her down.
Yeah. But she's like, I mean, I'm sure she, I feel like she's particularly woke now. It's crazy, though, to like listen
back. But
that's
the problem. That's the whole thing. It's not the problem, but like that's the whole thing, dude, is that you can only be taken down if you're playing that game.
Yeah.
So like, if you want to avoid it, just be open about being a piece of shit.
Right.
Like, if you're going to be a piece of shit regardless, just own up to it.
Right.
Because then you have the freedom of owning up to it.
Yeah,
That's the freedom you're seeking.
Don't establish your brand as a moral compass.
If you want to live your life not tipping anyone, being shitty, to wait staff or people who deal with you, then just tell people that's who you are.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, yeah. And then the narrative gets spun to like, yeah, it's just he's brash, man. Like, that he's kind of eccentric type.
Yeah.
That dude, he's creative. He's a creative guy.
People will expect that from you.
The real problem is when people learn that they should not seek their morals or ethics through celebrities and the work that they do.
Yeah.
When we stop doing that as a whole, then we'll probably have some less Karen videos, I would imagine.
Yeah.